Good evening. We're glad to have you with us. Thanks for trusting KRTV. I'm Shannon Newth. You'll notice for a while it will just be me here at the anchor desk on weeknights. Tim McGonigal is still here and working hard. We're sharing duties to bring you accurate and up-to-date information about coronavirus here in Montana and across the world, while also doing our part to practice social distancing and stop the spread. Like many of you, many members of the KRTV team are working from home, but we're all still committed to you, our community. So going off a little bit of what you said in regards to COVID and the economy, there's a grassroots effort right now, the Freedom Protection Project, that is helping people and businesses challenge what they are calling government overreach in terms of some of the mandates. They say the virus is real, however, the mandates violate constitutional rights. So do you believe there is a balance, or what is the balance between public health and our rights and freedoms? Welcome back. It is 6:11 here on our Thursday morning, January 7th. We're glad to have you along. Thanks for waking up with us here on Montana This Morning. Well, overnight, Congress finalized President-elect Joe Biden's win over President Trump. The typically short count of those votes first got delayed with Republican lawmakers objecting the votes in certain states. Protesters and rioters then occupied the Capitol building for hours, forcing that count to stop. Our Joe St. George has been in Washington, D.C. watching it all unfold, and he joined us live again this morning. Joe, thanks for being here. I want to begin this morning by getting a sense of what it's like there on Capitol Hill. I see you're back outside. I know you had to move around a little bit last night. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with the curfew right now and just the overall environment there on Capitol Hill.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us for this edition of Face the State on MTN stations across Montana.
The iconic Red Kettle campaign is the Salvation Army's biggest fundraiser of the year. Due to COVID-19, there are about half the usual number of kettles and bell ringers around Great Falls this holiday season. A lot of fundraising efforts went virtual. They raised nearly $60,000. That's about $18,000 shy of their goal. And Joe, I've been listening to various reports this morning, journalists who have been inside when the riots were going on, walking around, hearing from some of those people who were protesting, saying that they work for us. This is the people's house. How are lawmakers responding to that message, or does the violence kind of override any of that message that they were trying to send? And here at MTN, we want to help make sure the community is fed in the wake of coronavirus and support efforts of those who are working to do just that. That's why our parent company, Scripps, is donating $12,000 to the food bank, and we're challenging you, the community, to match that donation.
And get this, so far, $3,300 has been donated. If you would like to help, give the food bank a call.
Yeah, so they're just keeping track of donations in this few-week time period, and this is just an effort to really help boost our community, support our community. The food bank, like we said, serves roughly 70 different organizations. The food pantries at the schools are mostly stocked from the food bank, and they've been doing deliveries now instead of having staff go and get the food. They've been delivering. It was really neat to be there and witness. I was just trying to be a fly on the wall with the camera to get that, but they just go. Those volunteers have it down. They're excited. They get excited when they see what type of food is being brought. They even have meat I didn't get a chance to show you in fridges that are stocked, so they're doing an awesome job there.
Yeah, it looks like a finely tuned machine.
It really is. Yeah, they get in, they do it right away. They're done with those 80 plus boxes relatively quickly, getting them stocked. I wanted to share Watson today because Watson is from a shelter. That's where I found him. He was only 3 or 4 months old. That picture, that is from the first time I laid eyes on Watson, those little eyes looking back up at me.
He's got some wicked
Clearly
ears.
Fell in love with him. He does. He has these huge, very expressive ears. But then when they allowed me in the first time, that last picture was when I sat down and he immediately crawled up in my lap. And of course, instant heart melt. So we were supposed to get married in September, but it's 2020. So of course we've had all kinds
of awry.
Everything goes crazy in 2020. So we were fortunate though, because we really didn't have to delay a whole lot compared to what a lot of couples are going through this year. This was, of course, my favorite part. Take a look. We got to go back behind the scenes because Winston is not out for public viewing yet. He's been in quarantine. They're getting his new habitat ready. We'll show you that in a moment. But here he is.
You'll never guess he was sleeping.
Yeah, crazy. The sloth was sleepy. Yes, it took some coaxing here, but finally.
And this is literally the pace he moves all the time.
Yes.
Hello.
So they sleep 20 hours a day. So I'm sure we caught him in the middle of his nap here.
But then there was some food. So he's
like, all right, there was some food.
I'll wake up for a little zucchini.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to wake up for a few minutes to get hand fed, right? And Jeff, the executive director of Zoo Montana, says, there's his big yawn. Look at that, so cute. Jeff was saying this is the most that he's seen Winston yawn. He was yawning repeatedly while we were there, middle of his long nap. Oh, so cute. Okay, so you saw me petting him, right? I was expecting his hair to be really wiry. It's not. He's actually
really
very soft.
Yeah, it's kind of deceiving, but yeah, he's a soft little guy.
Yeah, and so feeding him vegetables there, he was getting some zucchini. So get this, because of how they're made, their vegetables, things like that, they go to the bathroom once a week. This year's class of 5 under 35 has been selected. Out of around 50 nominations, we've narrowed it down to this year's final 5 honorees. We want to say thank you to everyone who took time to fill out a nomination form. We appreciate your time and thoughtfulness to participate in the program and to nominate a deserving young adult. We're in the process right now of notifying this year's winners. Join us the last week of February as I introduce you to this year's winners. You'll hear their stories and also their thoughts on what Great Falls has going for it and their ideas for how the community can improve. We're continuing our 7th year of 5 under 35. I created this initiative to recognize young adults whose attitudes and actions are making Great Falls an even better place to live. Yesterday, you met our youngest recipient ever, Luke Swenson. Tonight, I introduce you to our second honoree. Nominated by 4 people, she's described as an amazing asset and someone who will continue to be a big part of building and caring for the Great Falls community. Jamie Wald walks by a picture of her cousin Tyson every day at work.
To know that what I'm doing is in his memory, I just feel honored.
Her passion for helping others and being involved with nonprofits stems from him.
I have a cousin who, when I was younger, he did pass away of cancer. And I was only in 3rd grade when that happened, but it has been something that has stuck with me.
After his passing in the mid-90s, money was donated in Tyson's honor to help other kids and their families battling illnesses.
This is kind of where it came full circle for me.
Jamie's now the Senior Director of Development for the Benefice Foundation, a not-for-profit organization that raises money to help patients who might not be able to pay their bills, and for buildings and technology. The 31-year-old has been in her current role since 2018. Jamie was born and raised in Great Falls, graduating from Great Falls High in 2006. She went to MSU and lived in Bozeman for 10 years, working for Special Olympics Montana there and here in Great Falls. Since moving back in 2017, she's poured herself into causes she believes in, like Make-A-Wish Montana.
It's exactly my calling.
As many who nominated her pointed out, Jamie has a strong commitment to help others and to build the community.
I think we're at a good place here. I think that we have a good community, and I think that we're really on our way to just exploding.
Jamie Wald, one of KRTV's 5 under 35. As part of the 5 under 35 program, I ask each honoree 2 questions that are meant to spur conversation and thought in our community. Those 2 questions, what does Great Falls have going for it, and how can Great Falls improve, specifically when it comes to the young adult population? Jamie says she's encouraged by the young adults who have chosen to stay or come back to Great Falls to make it their home.
These organizations that I've gotten involved with and the people I have worked with and seen the passion that they have to grow this community is outstanding. And I think that everywhere you turn, there's a new nonprofit and a new group of people working towards improving Great Falls.
Jamie says she thinks Great Falls can improve by young professionals learning and understanding how their dollars and volunteer hours can impact and grow the community. 5 under 35 continues tonight with our 3rd honoree. It's the 7th year of the program, and this year we picked the final 5 from around 50 nominations. So far, you've met 14-year-old Luke Swenson and 31-year-old Jamie Wald. Tonight, I introduce you to a man described as someone with unmatched character and an inspiring heart for others by those who nominated him.
For me, I had the choice and I chose Great Falls, and I'm so glad I did.
Nuclear Missile Operations Launch Officer Lieutenant Joshua Deagle picked Malmstrom as his top choice when he joined the Air Force. And ever since arriving in Great Falls about a year and a half ago, he's served others in his squadron and in his community.
I like to think that I approach a lot of my life, whether it's at work or just the way that I carry myself. I like to approach other people with the mentality of servant leadership. So for me, that means In what ways can I remove barriers to your success?
The 26-year-old Wisconsin native didn't always have his sights set on the military. In fact, he went to school for hotel management and business administration.
So initially, the Air Force for me was going to be like just a 4-year sort of check the box and serve my country and then move back to hospitality.
But he loves his work and says he gets excited to provide strategic deterrence for the United States.
There is a negative stereotype that goes along with missiles, but I really enjoy combating that.
When he's not on alert for work, he's volunteering with Habitat for Humanity. It's something he's done for years and gets him out of his comfort zone while also giving back to Great Falls.
I just think it's a really cool opportunity to give back to a community that I feel gives the base so much.
Joshua Deagle, one of KRTV's 5 Under 35. Now, as part of the 5 Under 35 initiative, I ask each honoree 2 questions that are meant to spur thought and conversation in our community. So those 2 questions: what does Great Falls have going for it, and how can Great Falls improve? Deagle loves the location of Great Falls and that it's easy to travel across the state to ski, camp, and hike. He says he's also excited about the growth that he's seen downtown in just the year and a half that he's been here.
I think that the downtown area has so much potential for growth, and it's being acted upon in ways that I think me and my peers are recognizing and my friends are taking advantage of. So that I really like about Great Falls.
Deagle says the challenge then is to get people his age to recognize that growth and the strengths of downtown. He says downtown can improve by providing more outdoor space and events. Our 4th honoree of 2020 has made Great Falls his home after a move from Florida. He's described as someone who finds an endless supply of fun and interesting things here in Great Falls and encourages others to join him in supporting those things. Meet this positive and active member of our community when 5 Under 35 continues tomorrow.
We wrapped up this year's 5 Under 35 initiative with a special luncheon today. MTN's Shannon Newth created 5 Under 35 7 years ago as a way to recognize young adults whose attitudes and actions make Great Falls a better place to live. Out of around 50 nominations this year, we selected the final 5. They are Luke Swenson, Jamie Wald, Joshua Deagle, Matthew Hunter, and Rachel Arthur. They represent different sectors of our community and range in age from 14 to 35. 5 Under 35 wraps up every year with a chance for new and prior honorees to meet and network. Shannon also puts together an extended video with parts of interviews that didn't make it into the stories that aired at the end of February, and you can watch that right now at KRTV.com. Thank you again to everyone who took time to nominate someone this year, and congratulations to this year's class.
Good morning to you. I'm Shannon Newth. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you. And if your day is going anything like Jason and I so far, I've already spilled, I'm trying to cover it. I've already spilled some coffee on me. All right, Jason, thanks. It is 5:21, and of course it is now officially fall, which may bring to mind an activity. You laughing at the leaf peeping? Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. For the longest time, I did not know leaf peeping was a thing.
Peeping.
I did not learn that was a thing until I went to Colorado.
It sounds a little scandalous, but it's not.
No, it's
enjoying, it's just enjoying the leaves. So
Sorry,
several new travel websites. As businesses reopen across the country and state, a trend is emerging. People are making purchases, but the factories that make those supplies aren't keeping up. I spoke with 3 Great Falls-owned companies about the challenges they're facing when it comes to meeting consumer demand. From hot tubs.
You have your backyard vacation, your staycation.
To furniture.
A lot of recliners, I think, since a lot of people are staying home.
And appliances.
The business has been very good. We're up about 20-30%.
The problem?
You can sell stuff, you're just going to get stuff.
That continues to be the situation many Montana businesses are dealing with right now. Sales are picking back up, demand is high, but supply is lagging behind.
It's very difficult. We're getting about 10% of what we order today. That's how bad it is.
They're only at about 1/3 capacity, and so the production end of it is way down.
Lower capacity at the factories means less available inventory.
I usually carry about $3 million worth of inventory. I have about $1 million now.
It also means people are having to practice patience and wait longer for their orders.
A special order might take you 16 weeks instead of 8 weeks.
Usually we get stuff within about 10 days. It's taken up to 2 months.
Where it was 4 weeks, it may take 8 to 18 weeks to get a hot tub.
Despite the delays, they're cautiously optimistic about the months ahead.
I'm hoping that in another 2 or 3 months, by probably the fourth quarter, that things will change and we'll get a lot more production.
Interesting to see what happens with everything in the fall.
And another interesting note, Eckland's is out of freezers right now. Cal says he thinks that's because people have been stocking up on meat and need a place to put it.